You're listening to the home of all things Lindenwood sports. It's the Lions Den on KCLC HD through the Tower and on the Roar Network YouTube channel.
Well, you're listening to the Lions Den here on the campus of Lindenwood University. We're here in the KCLC studios, and man, we got a fun show for you guys here tonight. I am James Zuckmeyer, joined by my co-host Justin Powell, and by special guest and friend of the show, Izzy Fletcher. Izzy, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
It was a bit of a rush to get the show going, as you guys saw.
Some
things did not work in our favor. But Justin, for someone who's never listened to the show before, can you break it down for him?
So what the show is going to be, we start off every show with an interview of whatever athlete that we have that week, and this week just so happens to be bowling. This is the very first time that we're actually featuring a bowler, so this is going to be really cool. Way to break the ice. And then after that, we get into all the D1 athletes or all the D1 sports. You know,
there's a lot of athletes.
Whatever is in season. And right now there's like 8 sports in season, some in playoffs, some getting ready, and some just starting.
Yeah, so we got a lot of sports, man. We're adding baseball and lacrosse this week. We had no show last week because of the cast on my arm. If you want to see that, be sure to go watch us on YouTube, on the Roar Network YouTube channel. But we've done enough yapping. Izzy, it's your turn to yap. Let's ask you the first question we got for you. How would you describe yourself both as a person and as a bowler to someone who has never met you?
I think I'm very competitive. Obviously, it comes with the territory, but I'm very down to earth, I think. I like to think of myself as a very understanding person. So that's probably what I'd start with is, hey, how are you? What's up? And then go into the depths of bowling and if they need help.
Okay. So when did you first start bowling, and when did you kind of realize that you wanted to start taking it more seriously?
So I've always been around bowling. My granddad, he bowled for Team GB. So literally from like 2 days old, I was in a bowling alley. My dad bowled. Yeah. So I decided around 9 or 10 that I wanted to bowl because I wanted to bowl a league with my dad and my granddad. Mm-hmm. And that's where it started. They were like, well, that's fine, but you've got to get good enough to... I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So there's no point me bowling in a league and being beaten by 30-year-olds. Yeah. So,
well, I got to ask you about that because I grew up in the American youth bowling system. How different is it across the pond?
I think the standards, they're very high. They're a lot higher here, I think. I mean, there's a lot more 300s and like honor scores over here, but honestly, as a country, we play more in Europe than obviously you guys do. So I think like going against teams like Sweden and stuff, it's hard. The standard's high. But in England itself, USA's got us beat.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You mentioned the 300 game. I pulled a stat. I had no idea this was a thing, but you were the first female bowler in England to shoot 300 on string pins. What was that moment like for you? And then what is your take on the whole string pin debate?
Well, so there's this bowling alley in London, and I used to go every week and bowl with Richie Teese. And like it was just a youth league, like for fun, just trying to get better and stuff. I was 17, so I was front 8. Scary. Like my high game before that was a 260. So it was a big jump. And I turned around and my dad was like, oh yeah, like she's not going to do it. Like it's just like, obviously he wanted me to do it, but like I was 17.
Did he say that?
Not to me, but I heard from other people that yes. I just don't think he believed it because my granddad has never had a 300 and he was one of the best. Yeah. So I don't know, that 11th frame, 12th frame, I thought I was going to collapse. Like, my legs were shaking so bad. I was so nervous, but then it was so cool. Like, the whole bowling alley erupted, and, like, that was... I hadn't played for Team England yet. I'd just been selected for whatever season that was. So I was already on a high because, you know, you get selected every year, but when you get selected to go to Europeans, it's like, wow, like... I'm already on a high because I'm one of the best in the country for under 18s. And then that happened and it was like, whoa, like maybe I could do something with this. But yeah, it was really cool. And then I actually got 1,000 English pounds for it.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
That is the most money I've had handed to me in my life. And I had the worst bleach blonde hair known to man. Like, it was purple, it was white. So the photos are so crazy, but it's just so funny. And I think about it sometimes. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that happened.
So don't use that photo on the thumbnail of this.
Probably not. No.
Okay. Wasn't planning on it. I'll find a nice Lindenwood photo. Now, we have, and I'd say the majority of the public has no idea how rare a 300 is. Also has no idea about string pins versus normal pins. I want to get your opinion on it as a collegiate bowler, and also we have somebody here who is also very raw into the sport.
I was about to say, before the show started and before you got here, he was like, yeah, she bowled really great on string pins. I was like, what is the difference between string and normal? I didn't understand that.
Well, the funny thing is that the string pins had only been put in the week before or a couple weeks before, and that's why the 1,000 pounds was a big deal, is because they were trying to get people to bowl on the string pins, because a lot of people do not like string pins. It's a lot harder to carry pins. It's a lot harder to strike. You get lucky spares. And if you don't have rev rate and you don't have speed, like, I don't have the best speed, I don't have the best rev rate, so it's harder. And like the pins bounce differently, and like, obviously the scores are different, so it's a lot harder to score well on string pins, which again is why I was so shocked that my dad was like, yeah, like, there's no shot, because it's so, as well as being a woman, like, we don't have the strength that a lot of men do. So it's just like, yeah, like, it's so much harder to carry. The scores are lower. There's just a lot of controversy around it. A lot of people like them, a lot of people hate them. It's really just down to preference and really how you throw the ball. Like, everybody throws it different. So if you match up, you match up.
Yeah, I mean, it might be the future, because I mean, it saves money for these bowling alleys and stuff, but that's a discussion for another day. Justin, Team England, I know you want to know about that.
So you've represented Team England in the youth championships, and you've got a couple medals under your belt with them. How does it feel to sort of compete on that stage, and how different does it feel here in the collegiate level to that level?
So my first ever Europeans, again, I was 17, turning 18. So that was my first ever. I had played in Europe before, but that was my first ever. Everybody from different countries was there. We were in France, Wittelsheim, France.
Okay.
So the south of France. I flew there, but my dad drove, and I did not realize how big it would have been. Like, we got there, and they had seating for everybody. There were so many parents there. There were so many athletes there. It was insane. Like, the atmosphere was like nothing I had ever seen before. And that was probably, I made the Masters, so top 25, I think, make Masters. And I was the only English to do it that year.
Very nice.
So I had my whole team behind me, and I was going up against Sweden. Sweden is known for being the best of the best. Like, if you want to get good, you go and you play a Swedish league in Sweden. So going up, I think it was Finland. I think I'm lying to you. I was against a Finnish girl. Her name's Peppy. She was a couple years older than me. First ever Masters. I thought I bowled pretty well. She threw a 520 for 2. So if you don't know what that is, that's basically a 225 average for 2 games.
Ooh.
If not more.
Where were you guys bowling on in that?
I have no idea. They have custom patterns every year. I think it was like 42 foot.
Okay, so like a challenge-ish?
Yeah. I mean, it's sport, but it was obviously customed and edited to be hard. But
and we'll ask you about that later, because also I know a lot of viewers, no concept of the oil on the lane.
Yeah.
But I got to ask, you're having this success in Europe. What made you want to come stateside for college and to bowl here in the United States?
So I don't know if you know this, but I grew up with Verity Crawley. We are coached by the same person. And for you that doesn't know, Verity Crawley is a professional PWBA bowler.
Okay.
So I've always grown up around her, and I watched her. Obviously, I was young, but she bowled for Weber International University. And then I had friends that I grew up with competing against, like Isabel Allen. She went to McKendree, and then she went to Jack State, and now she's at Vandy. So as she was going up through there, I was getting to like 16, 17, and I was like, wow, like I want to do that. That's so cool. And like it had always been my dream to go pro, like since 10 years old. So like when I saw that, and then I think I got the offer from William Woods at like 17, right before my first Europeans. So that's when I was like, wow, like this is real, because it's so hard to get noticed. Like it's insane. If people aren't scouting you out here, then you're not going to get known.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of scouting resources as well. So,
No.
yeah.
And, you know, obviously you bring up William Woods. What sort of made you land on going to William Woods to, like, just start?
To be honest, I just got an offer. They said they had been scouting me for years, months, and they were like, hey, like, we want you to come play for me. We're starting up this program. We think you'd be great here. And I was like, wow, like, this is an opening that I can expand off of.
Just kind of like a foot in the door type deal? Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, speaking of the foot in the door, obviously that led to Lindenwood's attention.
Yes.
And you jumping over to Lindenwood. And before getting into what led to you transferring, or what made Lindenwood so appealing to transfer to, you know, how does it feel to jump from Fenton, Missouri, middle of nowhere, Missouri, to St. Charles, Missouri, where there's a lot more people, a lot more stuff to do, and everything's not like 2 hours away?
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because I actually entered the transfer portal. So I had like 46 offers for different schools. Yeah,
Wow.
like I had a lot of offers. It was insane. Like I was getting so overwhelmed. And like I knew about Lindenwood. Obviously McKendree is 40 minutes down the road. So I knew about Lindenwood. Moving was a little bit insane. Like you've got nothing in where William Woods is at. Like you've got this tiny town. There's like a population of like 300 people. Like there's a pizza place and there's a couple restaurants, but that is it. Like, and then I moved here and I was like, wow, like I can actually go outside and like do stuff. Like there's a park and there's not just horses everywhere. Like
And now you 30 minutes from downtown St. Louis, you could go watch a baseball.
Yeah,
or
we go to
even
Busch
football. That's coming
Stadium.
into the season.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like it's just insane. Like there's so many things to do here. And I find it funny because some people are like, wow, there's nothing to do here. And I'm like,
It could be William
it
Woods.
could be worse.
Yeah, go an hour down. That way you'll realize how bad it can
Yeah.
really be.
Gets a little boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you bring up like 40 plus offers while entering the transfer portal. What caught your attention and what led to you choosing Lindenwood out of all those offers?
It was mainly scholarship.
Okay.
Because obviously being international, like it's hard. We in England don't get the same amount of funding as like you guys do. Like we don't just have like 40K in our bank accounts.
Yeah.
Like we don't prepare for this stuff. Like most people that go to university in England just have student loans and they spend 20 years paying them off after. So yeah.
America's kind of catching up on that trend. I will say that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, it really came down to Mount Mercy and Lindenwood, and they're two very good schools. I had a couple just NCAA offers that were just solely girls teams. They were good. I wasn't sure about if I would be playing. Obviously, I don't doubt myself, but moving schools, it sometimes is hard for the coach to trust you. So it really just came down to Mount Mercy and Lindenwood for me. And I had been talking to Phil for a while because a girl who graduated for Lindenwood, she was on the bowling team. She transferred to William Woods. So I knew Phil through her.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how, like, we got talking with Phil. And at the end of the day, I didn't think I was going to play for Mount Mercy. So I just said, Lindenwood.
So I don't know exactly what goes into the recruiting process for bowling. I know he does, but for the viewers and everybody, what exactly were those initial conversations with Phil like to kind of get you recruited into Lindenwood, and how does that recruiting process for bowling sort of look?
It's very similar, I think, to every other sport. I came here, I had a signing day, I threw a few shots for Phil, he took photos, he took videos, lots of talk about paperwork, like just pretty standard stuff. So,
Well, then you come into that first season and you have all the success in Europe. Ultimately, here the college game is just stupidly hard when you're first starting out. You're down at like a 180 average first year, which, by the way, is still higher than any average I ever posted in college. So still like 181, nothing to shake a stick at. But can you explain to people why college bowling is so much different than your average league?
it's just the standard is so high, the patterns, you've got these ridiculous sports patterns that they're throwing out. Like, I don't know if you saw the match play pattern for the Hoosier. Mm-hmm. It looked like a funnel. Like, it was insane. Like, the patterns are just ridiculous, hard. Being in a team aspect, you have to think not only for yourself, but for your team. Like, everything you do reflects what your team does. So if you make a move, you have to tell your team, hey, my ball is hooking early, I'm moving 2 boards, because it's a team sport. And at the end of the day, if you ATT, that's great. But if your team's in loss, then what's the point?
True that. And then you come in, you have that first year of experience, you bowl for William Woods. You come into Lindenwood. How long did it take you to feel comfortable here at Lindenwood and at the college level?
It took me a little while. Me and Phil spent the first year just solely working on my game, like making edits. My freshman year, I had a lot of mental health things. My great-grandma had passed away literally like 2 days after my birthday, which is in September, so I was only at William Woods for like a month when that happened.
Condolences.
Yes, it's okay. So that hit me out of nowhere. Like, I knew she was sick. I knew she was in hospital, but like, it just didn't feel real. And it just took everything out of me. Like, I didn't want to bowl anymore. I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to go home. And like, I felt very disconnected and homesick. Like, it was a really hard year for me. And that's also like part of the reason I transferred is I just needed to fresh start. So we just changed everything about my game. We made edits. We tried to fix my swing, my steps. Like, we went through a whole shebang full of different things we had to change. And I think that's where I started building trust with the team and with Phil as a coach. Is they didn't be like, you need to do this, you need to be the best. They liked me for who I was, and they trusted me that I was going to figure it out. So I think that built a lot of trust with the team and Phil. So I guess that's how we got to this season.
And you mentioned the work you put in. The next season, you're up 10 pins in average, varsity consistently. What kind of things, I know you worked on your swing and things like that, but what would you say was the biggest thing that helped you out moving into that second year?
Probably trusting my team more. Like, the first year when my team was very rocky, like, I had trust issues. I was new, so they didn't exactly trust me. And honestly, just practicing every day, like being committed and actually wanting to do it, I think was a big step for me, because I genuinely hit a brick wall. And I think that step up was just the main thing.
And so obviously now you have about a year or so at Lindenwood and gotten able to sort of get acclimated to your teammates and to the coach now. So what, with all that, is that kind of what factored into you wanting to stay at Lindenwood, pursue your degree here, and maybe, just kind of see this through at the college level?
Yeah, I made a lot of friends. I had fun with my team. We did things together as a team. We were a winning team. I was bowling well. Our team was bowling well. So I think that all factors. I was just happy, and I hadn't felt like that my freshman year. So that's why I was like, wow, like maybe this is a place for me.
Well, you come into your junior year, and I know it's basically almost over at this point. You got sectionals right around the corner. But what were your expectations coming into this year, and what were the goals that Phil set aside for this team?
I think the main goal was to have fun. Like, yeah, winning's great, but I think we wanted to be consistent, and I think we wanted to gel together as a team more, and I think we did a really good job at that. I think we're all very close, and I think we work well as a team, and we practice the things we need to be practicing, and everything's running smoothly, so I think that's really what made it.
Okay. So your team, like you said, winning really helps. Your team seems to sort of win consistently. I know whenever I talk to James or Mike, who I also work with on the esports team, nonstop talk about how the women's team is by far leagues above the best bowling team that they've seen, and especially since you guys, the back-to-back tournament wins not that long ago?
Just a lot of winning, and also winning team of the week as well. Like
exactly.
Winning semifinals almost every tournament.
Yeah,
that vote was definitely rigged, but come on,
I don't know.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
The entire bowling team follows me. Why did they win team of the week?
I don't know.
It was earned. I mean, the men's and the women's both won that week,
yeah.
so definitely not a Mickey Mouse victory on that one.
So I guess, how does that sort of affect the morale going into the future of the season, especially since sectionals, I'm assuming that's like playoffs for you guys?
So sectionals, if you come top 4 at sectionals, you make nationals.
Okay.
So that's what the incentive is. You get 4 different sectionals you can go to, and where you get sent really is a big deal. Like, we usually get sent to Texas, but this year we got sent to Tennessee, which is interesting. We're going to go against teams like Jack State and SCAD. So I think we're feeling good. Like, I was talking to Phil, and I think we're going in confident because, yes, SCAD's a good team. Jackson State's ranked number 1 in the country for like 3 years in a row. But like 4 spaces. And I think on our day we can beat SCAD. On our day we can beat Jacksonville State. Like, yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're going in hype. We've got a good energy about us, and I think our teamwork outbeats any team because we gel so well. So I think we're all pretty calm going into this sectional.
Well, we got some more fun questions for you, and then we got some really fun ones at the end. What has been your favorite bowling ball so far this season?
My Hammer Effect. It's a pearl. It's purple and pink. And I think that says a lot.
This shows me how ignorant I am to the sport of bowling. I didn't know there were different balls. I knew that there were different sizes and weights. I did not know that there were different types.
Well, if you're having questions, and I think everyone at home is going to have some questions, you don't have to give the whole spiel about all the different statistics on the bowling balls and all of that. But can you tell people at home a little bit about what different bowling balls do and kind of how you build your arsenal? I'm
not really going to go into like cover stocks and cores or all that stuff, but basically you have 4 different types of balls. You have a reactive, a solid, a polyester, and a urethane. A solid? What am I saying?
Well, yeah.
That was right.
Solid works.
Okay, pearl, solid, urethane, and then polyester, so a spare ball.
And then you might have some hybrids in there, but like a mixture of pearl and solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5. They all do different things. Solid is usually a ball you're going to start with. Okay. They're very dull. You can put Avalon pads on them so you can sand them down. That makes them hook at different points of the lane. So you've got different Avalon pads you can put on them that all do different things. I usually start with a solid, and then I'll probably move to a hybrid or a pearl as the lane breaks down and the oil disbands or pushes down. But yeah, there's so many different things when it comes to the aspect of bowling balls. Like, especially depending on what pattern you're playing on, there's 100 1,000 different combinations you could do.
Well, then I have the next question for you before we move into looking ahead to later this season. You have released an NIL store with a partnership, and I want people at home to know how to access that.
So you can go onto My Players. It's an Instagram, or you can go onto my Instagram. It is in my web page browser. You can click on that and you can Google Izzy Fletcher, and all that stuff should come up.
It's high quality stuff, man.
Yeah.
And if you see it around, I mean, you
Well,
might sign it, right?
I will sign it. If you come up to me wearing it, I will sign it for you. My friends have already asked me to sign their stuff. It's really funny.
Yeah. Well, I know because of dinner at the other night, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
can you sign this?"
Yes.
All right. So, bringing up sectionals and what that can mean and everything, you know, how are you guys in that mindset wanting to make that push to nationals? Like, what is sort of without giving too much details, obviously, what is sort of the game plan going into sectionals to make sure you get to that national level?
I think the first thing is just make your spares. Like we lock in every week on a Tuesday and we practice spares, and that's the main thing. If you're not sparing, you're not going to win. So spares, working together as a team, and talking. Like if one of us is moving, we've got to tell the rest of the team. Like we can't just keep it to ourselves.
And then for sectionals here at the end of the season, in your mind, what would a successful end of the season be?
Winning nationals.
Is anything less a failure then?
I mean, I think we've had a really successful season. I feel like even if we don't make nationals, I am going to come away with the season feeling proud of us and how we work together and how our season was just in general. Like, I don't think we've won this much in a while. Like, our girls team was just so good. So, I don't know. I'm happy now. I think sectionals is going to go well. I think we'll probably make nationals, and even if we don't and we bowl bad at sectionals, I'm still happy with how we did for the whole year.
And then are you bowling individuals for sectionals?
I am.
And what are your expectations there?
Probably average like 190, 200. Obviously, I want to make top 4 and go to nationals, but I'm going to be realistic, and we're playing a lot of good teams. Like with Jack State being there, Jack State is insane. Like each and every one of their goals is top tier, averaging 200 plus. Like, so obviously if I beat them, that would be great. Like that would be nice. And I know last year we had 2 girls make nationals, and the year before that we had 1. So like obviously it would be nice, but I just want to bowl well. Like there's not really any high expectations. It would be nice if I qualified for nationals, but I just want to bowl well at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then I got one more question before I move into the truly fun stuff. Wichita State in the past has been one of those teams that's always kind of around. This year with them having a down year, has that changed anything mindset-wise for this team, seeing that like the team that's always right there is kind of out of the picture for once?
I mean, yes, Wichita's a good team, but I feel like I don't really look at teams and I'm like, oh, wow, like I have to beat them this week. Like, obviously with Mount Mercy being there, yes, they're there. Like, you know they're there, but I don't go into the weekend being like, oh, like I have to beat them. I just go in with, it's just another person. Like, it doesn't matter to me, really. So I didn't really even notice they were gone, to be honest with you.
They're like down in the rankings. I like was on the front page and I was like, wow, Wichita's not on there. And they're sitting like in the 30s, 40s right now on the USBC rankings.
I know a couple of the girls have been hurt, so that probably contributes.
Does not help,
But
no.
they also moved to NCAA, so they're not in our conference anyway.
Yeah.
So now we can get into sort of the fun questions, a little less serious questions. And I'm from St. Louis. I born, raised, grew up in this area. James from Illinois, ick. But obviously you're from England, Great Britain.
England.
Okay. I know there's a bit of an animosity between which one sometimes.
Yeah, it really depends on who you are and
Yeah. So, but with you being from England, how was it moving to St. Louis? How's your experience been overall here? And what are some of the more unique spots that you've been able to visit while being here?
I think it was really cool when I moved here. Like everything to the T is different. Like, the fast food, you guys have like triple the amount, and I know that's
for better or for worse.
Yeah, but like there's so much variety, and like the roads are different, and the way you guys have sports is insane to me. Like, you guys have such a sport enthusiastic country. Like, I don't know, as somebody that has bowled for their national team, we did not get half the support that a college team gets. Like, it's insane to me. Like, seeing like stadiums at like Alabama full, I'm like, wow, like that's insane. Like, I've never been to a game, but like even just seeing it on TV, I'm like, that's crazy. And even like the sports being streamed on TV is crazy. Like, we bowl tournaments in England every single weekend for the whole year, and I think only 3 or 4 of them are streamed.
Really?
Yeah. So I have to video my own videos, which is really not cool.
Yeah, I feel like the sports scene over here is way different because like college is almost like the soccer teams over there, where you have like that cult following, and then the professional teams is how much money do you want to spend to go.
Yes.
So very, very different. But I think that is like the thing. All my European friends say the same. Was like, you guys are just crazy.
Yeah,
you guys
like
are nuts.
it's insane.
So, actually, kind of to bring up that sports scene, the Olympics, the Summer Olympics, is here in a couple years, and Energizer Park just got confirmed as one of the soccer stadiums for the Olympics. Are you going to be around for that? Do you plan on going to like maybe a couple games at Energizer Park for the Olympics?
That would be cool. Yeah, definitely. I didn't know about it, but it's definitely something I could look at. I mean, me and my boyfriend go to Energizer to watch the St. Louis City games. Oh, yeah. His uncle has like season passes or something. So, yeah.
Very nice.
So we go, like, he just went to a game on Saturday. So
I can't imagine how much those cost.
I don't know. I don't ask questions. I just turn up. He says, hey, I got a ticket. Do you want it? I go, okay.
Best policy right there.
Yeah. Don't ask questions. Just take it and say thank you.
Yes, thank you. I will go.
Thank you. I will be there.
All right, so now I want you to imagine for a second that you are now the commissioner of all things bowling. You are the president of USBC.
Oh, wow.
What are you changing? First thing.
2-lane courtesy. I can't. Standing there and waiting for 2 lanes, like, it's just pointless. Like, if you can't concentrate because there's somebody else on the lane, then you probably shouldn't be bowling.
So you're cool with 1, just not 2?
Yeah, 1's fine.
Yeah, I think you have to have 1.
Yes.
So, again, don't know much about bowling, and I'm sorry to take away from the fun. What exactly is 2-lane courtesy?
So 1-lane courtesy, you have 2 lanes. It's a pair. You're on this lane and you're bowling. Somebody else is on that lane.
Okay.
Doesn't happen. You have 1-lane courtesy. You wait for the other person to go.
Okay.
A lot of people, especially in leagues, want 2-lane courtesy, either side. So you're in the middle and they're waiting for 2 lanes that side of you and 2 lanes the other side of you. I'm not waiting for 20 minutes to throw a shot. I'm not doing it. Like, if you're going to wait there, I'm going. Like, sorry if you're mad about it.
Yeah, I kind of hardcore agree with that one now.
Yeah.
Now that you explain what that is, that sounds ridiculous.
Yes, it's a very big pet peeve of mine. I will avoid bowling league on a Wednesday just because the week before somebody did that to me too much, and I just get a noise.
Yeah, we need that sign in the law. Like,
Yes.
every league needs to have that in the bylaws.
It is the first thing I would change.
All right, our next question for you. We said fun. This one might not be fun for you.
Yeah.
What is your major, and what are your plans beyond your collegiate career?
My major is marketing, but obviously this might be a typical answer. I really hope I go pro. Obviously, bowling, going pro is a little bit different. You can just jump on the pro tour. Like, it's not like you have to be noticed or anything. A lot of people in bowling will already know who you are. But I've already got tournaments lined up for when I graduate, and I'm just going to go full swing into it. And really how you make money on the pro tour is sponsorships. You can win it, that's fine, but the sponsorship's where the money's at. So,
and I know you said that's kind of a typical thing. You'd be surprised how few athletes come on here and say that they want to go pro after. Even Darren Fugit, last semester, football guy, he told us that he's like, I don't know what is hold after this, but I think he wanted to be like a realtor.
Yeah.
After his football career, something like that. So
But you got to think the student life sports are different.
Yeah.
This is a mid-major for D1, but for student life, I mean, you look at the rugby teams and how good they've been. I know women's rugby's moving up to the NCAA level, but you have more opportunities here to be a top-level athlete like yourself. So our last question we got, and imagine you're talking to this guy right here. What is something about bowling you wish more people understood or respected?
It's actually hard. Like, a lot of people, I don't know, I got bullied a lot in high school because people are like, oh, you're a bowler? Like, that takes no skill. Okay, then 1v1 me, because I guarantee you'll lose. Like, and that's not me being arrogant, but the amount of people that come up to me and they're like, bowling's not a real sport. Okay, then you do it. Because, like, hook a ball for me. Go on, do it.
I kind of want to validate what you're saying here, because, like, every time somebody suggests going bowling, I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. And then as soon as I get up there and I throw a ball, I remember every time how I forget how heavy that thing is, how hard it is to control it, and how much of a toll it takes on your arm, because thanks to the video aspect, now the viewers can see Mr. Broken over here.
Bowling injury.
Yeah.
Yes.
How serious of a sport that it actually is. So, yeah, I get a reality check every time I go in there, and I'm like, man, those professionals.
Yeah.
Like, you guys being professionals, that, it shows a lot of
she.
Yeah, she.
I'm buns. I am done. I am retired. I'm picking up golf. I'm never looking back.
I mean, it's crazy because, like, I have 15 pounds attached to my arm and I bowl. Like, tournaments, we stand for 8 hours straight. We're not allowed to sit at tournaments at the collegiate level. We have to stand. We get there 7:30, sometimes before that 6:30. We're stood from that until 3-4 o'clock. Yeah,
Really?
straight.
It's so annoying. But, like, you have to do it.
Yes.
Okay, I guess that was supposed to be the last question. Why can't you sit?
It's about, like, team morale and being supportive, and it's just a collegiate
Team
rule.
morale would benefit more greatly
Yeah.
from being able to sit for about 10
This
minutes.
was not a thing back in the 80s and 90s.
No.
So, like, they used to go back and sit down, which I honestly have argued, I think that'd be good. You can sit at the table, you can talk strategy, you don't have the other team 2 feet next to you.
Yes.
You're not leaking information, but it's a thing. And those tournaments really do bother you. Like, at the end of it, you're like, dude, I just
Your
want to sit down.
Body will ache. Like, my first ever tournament, I came back and I think I slept the whole day. Like, you're standing 2 days of this. So you're stood for 16 hours straight over 2 days. And then the second day you're in a car on the way back. So you got that plus a car
So
journey.
legs are already cramped in a car, and then or
Yes.
bus, whatever, and then 16 hours of standing on top of hurling a 15-pound ball for
Yes, on
hours
your arm.
upon hours.
Yes.
Oh God,
Yes,
that
not
sounds
great, not
miserable.
great.
It doesn't feel great.
I'm former bowler here. I used to bowl JV2 bench lifer, but I want to make the argument for that last question. What do you wish more people understood? I know I'm the host, not supposed to do that, but oil is a thing, and it's very real, and it's what makes bowling bowling. If it was like darts where it's the same thing every time, which that's controversial, I know of a lot of people in Britain because it's huge over there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change. Bowling does, and every shot you're trying to make all these small adjustments, and it's hard to understand from the outside, but once you get to understand it, you really do appreciate not just the physical aspect, but the mental aspect of these bowlers. So I think that's my big takeaway. We also have Briley in the bag. Briley, I figure I should ask you, because you're here, what do you wish more people understood?
You guys have really covered it for the most part. Because, like I've mentioned, I've been on a podcast before. He asked me the same question. I agree with Izzy. It really is a sport. We're constantly doing multiple things. And me personally, like, I love when friends will come up and tell me, hey, like, I went bowling this weekend. And I'm like, yeah, like, you see how hard it is now, don't you? Like, people don't realize that we are throwing 15 pounds off our fingertips most of the time because we throw fingertip rather than putting our whole fingers in the ball. Like, there's a lot more that goes into it than just throwing a ball down a lane and hoping that you hit pins. You're actively shooting to get those pins down. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know I didn't tell you I was asking you anything, but this has been a fun interview. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to walk you out, and then, Justin, I guess you got to take everyone into the den.
Yeah, I will take them into the den.
Oh,
Thank you
thanks.
very much for everything.
So, get a handshake in
yeah. All righty. So, go Go ahead and swap out. There you go.
Good luck, bud.
Oh, yeah, so much fun. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I know how to operate the radio board. Alrighty, everybody. We are going to go into the Lion's Den.
It's time to go inside the Lions Den and break down every current Lindenwood sports team.
Alrighty, so as always, we are going to start with men's basketball. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes for the gentleman here. Unfortunately, they went 1-3 over their last 4 games. Not how you want to see them go, especially towards the start of the finale of the season, right? They've only got 2 more games after this, so we're really hoping that they can almost sort of break even, get those last 2 wins in the win column. We'll get into that when we get into who we pick for wins and losses and such. But even then, their last win was not very pretty because it was a 75-74 scoreline. They kind of squeaked by, and you just really wanted to see them kind of develop, but they never really got there. They ended up losing 3 straight. After that, though, the closest score was against Tennessee State, where it was 80-89. So not awful, only about 3 3-pointers away. It's not completely out of reach, but bear in mind that was the closest score, not the worst score. So still a lot to be desired from this men's basketball team. They only got 2 games left, and it's both away games in Illinois. Hi, Jace. And they're both in Illinois. So that'll be really fun to see how they go. Oh, my goodness. And luckily, Eastern Illinois is kind of buns on the men's side of basketball.
That's
so
mean.
It's mean, but it's true. It's true. So, James, why don't you give us a little bit of your breakdown on that one?
Yeah, let me just take a seat here and let's talk about some Eastern Illinois. But I also want to talk about these last few games that I know that you broke down because... a little bit. Realistically, I am a little bit upsetty spaghetti. I know that's not really I don't know if that one's in the Webster, but spaghetti first, whatever I said. Okay.
Upsetty spaghetti?
Upsetty spaghetti.
There you go.
Because you have this win versus UT Martin, right? The whole team treats it like it's such a big win because it was. I mean, UT Martin, top team in the conference at the time.
Yeah.
You knock them down. You win in great fashion. The finish from Micaiah Cooper at the end of the game. Whatever happens there. And then they're celebrating in the post-game interview. I thought, turning point. This team is ready. This team is ready to compete. And then the last 3 games, I mean, you lose them all. Longest losing streak of the season. They just really couldn't shoot the basketball. They couldn't make adjustments versus SEMO. A very frustrating game to watch as a novice basketball watcher. And then you play Tennessee State. And I know we were watching it in the studio at first and getting score updates. And it's like, man, we're up 29-15. I mean, we're beating one of the better teams in the conference, a fast-paced team, one that scores a lot of points. We gave ourselves a cushion. We lost that lead in 7 minutes. And then the rest of the game, Tennessee State was kind of back and forth, and then they took it at the end.
Yeah.
That's a good team. That's 2 good teams right there, SEMO and Tennessee State. Those are games you can almost accept losing because you're like, these teams are legitimate. These teams are going to be hard to beat in the tournament. They might do some damage, or they're not going to upset anybody, but at least make the first round of March Madness a little close.
Yeah.
Probably get out of the first 4, especially UT Martin and Tennessee State. They play the right type of basketball. Tennessee Tech, that one, you lost me on that one. You guys have lost the plot as a team. It's Tennessee Tech. This is a team that the last time we played them, we had the subs in with 5 minutes to go. It was a blowout. The final score doesn't show it, but they are not on the same level talent-wise as our team. They're not. And we went out there as a pretty healthy team. I mean, there's minor ailments here and there, but the starters are in, and they laid an egg. They got beat. That's a game that you can't be dropping. If you want to win the tournament this year, which, of course, we had Nenadic in here, that's the ultimate goal. The team is building for that. You can't lose to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah.
These are games you have to win. So, my main takeaway right now, and yes, I'm a novice basketball fan. I can't tell you what plays they're running or what adjustments they need to make. But I will say, some of these games, it just looks like they're not doing what the coach wants them to do, and they're not adjusting fast enough. Part of that falls on the players. Part of that falls on the coaching staff. Right now, we need to see this team adjust so that when the other team steps it up and goes on a run, Lindenwood can respond. There's a lot of times where they're just chucking threes because they can't get anything going. They can't get into the paint. They can't get down anywhere past the three-point line without turning it over. And when they do get it down there, there's a lot of block party going on where it's bad shots, stuff's not going in, it's getting blocked. They got to scheme something up because you're running out of time. You only got 2 games left, and these are get-right games.
Yeah.
You can tell them about the opponents coming up. We already called one of them buns. But these are games you got to win.
Look, we've got the Illinois coming up. Eastern and Western in that order. You know, Lindenwood has struggled in sort of their basic fundamentals, as you've kind of brought up, and they can't really kind of get it together. Eastern Illinois is still in that same front as well, except they're doing it worse than Lindenwood. And this is not the greatest stat to bring up, but it's fair. They're also 1-3 of their last 4. So Lindenwood and Eastern are kind of going into this with the same stakes of like they need to get a win for anything to sort of, formulate there. And I think Lindenwood's the better basketball team. I think this is where they get that win. So I'm definitely predicting a win against Eastern Illinois. Now this one, I think they just need to focus up on. I'm predicting a win at Western Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Western Illinois is one of those easier teams, especially since they're like the worst team. I think it's put the focus on Eastern so that way you can topple the harder team and then just go into Western Illinois, easy peasy, and then just drive home, feel comfortable that you got okay seating in the playoffs, but just go handle business on the road. I'm predicting a win on both of those.
Yeah, Western Illinois is actually one of the worst teams, not just in this conference because they're in dead last. They're one of the worst teams in the country this year.
Yeah,
they were
awful.
The first team to be eliminated from March Madness this year, statistically, because they were no longer able to win the conference. They were no longer able to make the tournament. And that was like 2 weeks ago when that happened. Eastern Illinois, on the other hand, they're a little bit hungrier right now. They're right on the bubble of making the tournament, so they need to come into this game against Lindenwood with some fire.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're going to get that, but it's also like it's a home game. Lindenwood, pretty good at home this season. It's the last home game of the year.
Are these games at home?
The first game is,
okay.
Yeah. Have you told them about like where these are at yet? Whenever I was out there?
No, I have not yet, actually, because unfortunately, I had those on my computer. We had some technical difficulties. And as we upload this, the audio will be coming off of my computer.
Yeah. Let me just tell the people at home, we have recording studios here, and one recording studio sounds like an old 2016 Bass Boost meme. The quality not so great today. Something's totally wrong. The other one, we couldn't get it hooked up to Adobe Audition, so we're using OBS, recording the radio feed off the website. So if you notice anything different with audio quality, that's what's causing this here. But like Eastern, they're on the struggle bus right now. Both teams really struggle to score. They're in the bottom 2 in OVC scoring on the year. They don't really rebound all that well. Western Illinois 1-11 in conference play, only one win on the year. Guess who they beat? Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
They're feasting on trash, essentially. So I really think this should be a 2-win week. Although right now, my word means nothing. You're 7-3 all time. I'm 5-5 with basketball. So you have a 2-game lead. This week, we're going to be tied no matter what. So you're just playing defense. You're going to wait till I graduate. Just play defense every week.
Pretty much. So now that I've got them pulled up, Eastern Illinois, that is here at Robert Highland Arena. I know you're weird about that.
It's called Highland.
It's called Highland. It's at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, so go ahead, go check it out. It's here at home. However, Saturday, 3:30 p.m., it is going to be in Macomb, Illinois, at Western Illinois University.
Musty gym. Very musty gym.
So
need to win there, though.
You could catch that on ESPN Plus, or, There's some good shows on Netflix that are probably going to be more entertaining to watch. Go ahead and tune into those.
Watch the Lindenwood game.
Watch
Please
the
watch
Lindenwood
the
game.
Lindenwood
Watch the Lindenwood game. No.
I haven't watched a Western broadcast since football season. I hope
Was
they
there
figured it
football
out. Well, yeah, because
broadcasting again?
No. Well, so they fired the guy the guy that was in charge of it got fired or left like 2 weeks before football season.
Ooh.
So the new guy had to come in and incorporate all these new graphics. It was a big thing. So I'm looking forward to tuning in because I want to see how far they've come. They've been moving up in the world as a school. They've been getting better over the last few years. I'm excited, but I also I'm ready to be hurt.
Look, a 2-week notice on a whole broadcast program.
Yeah, not great.
Look, we've both been behind the scenes on that. Him more so than me. Seeing what goes into some of those broadcasts, especially
Football's crazy.
Go watch it. OVC Big South Game Day. The work that had to go into that show with the production and everything. My God,
Yeah.
that was insane.
And then imagine doing it live.
No.
So, well, you saw me direct the rugby broadcast. There's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, yeah, no, we did the rugby broadcast live, too, which you can watch. It's against Arkansas. It's great.
And we got one coming up on March 7th and on March 21st. Penn State is in town on March 7th. And you got the number 3 team in the country who's probably moving up.
I still apologize about the 7th, but I'm sorry.
Guard's guard. You can't do anything about it. We got plenty of people to work it.
It's a bummer.
Let's move into women's basketball.
Oh, yeah. So, women's basketball, they are actually 4-0 after the past 2 weeks and have looked amazing. Start to finish, they've played great. They've done great. This is the women's team that we are very much used to seeing. They're actually 22-7 on the season right now. So, it's just an amazing sort of stat to see. They're ranked second in the OVC and only one game behind one of the teams that they're going to be playing in the next upcoming weeks. So there is a very realistic chance that they can move into that 1 seed to go into playoffs for the conference. And while this weekend is going to be just as important as the men's for playoff seeding, this is entirely for a different reason. For the men's, you just want to sort of move into better seeding so you can play maybe a little bit less fortunate opponent or something like that. Whereas for the women, you are fighting for that 1 seed to where, you know, you're top dog, you show up, show out type deal. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think that a 6-game win streak is really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, because it's great. Alicia Jones, she was on the voting this week for 3 stars of the week, which, by the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, you can follow at James Zugmeyer, at Jetkin4, or just follow The Tower. All of our posts are getting put over there as well now. That is The Tower, HT3, KCLC. If you just type in those buzzwords, it'll pop up, and it'll also be linked in the description of this YouTube video when it goes out. All right. These games were sick. Alicia Jones, she was amazing. She's led the team in scoring in the last 3 games. The defense for this team, though, is what's truly stuck out to me. It's the defense into the offense. Right now, if you look at the last 6 games, they had more points off turnovers than their opponent did. That's big. If you're making the other team uncomfortable on offense and then all of a sudden you're going back up the floor because they made a mistake, that's going to lead to easy points. They're not going to be able to get their defense set up. They're going to be all out of sorts. And I think that makes up for one big thing with this team is they kind of had a lack of rebounding. Given they're scoring a lot of points and they're taking a lot of shots, which means the other team's getting free defensive rebounds. We also shoot a lot from the perimeter, so that's going to skew the stats. We aren't the best rebounding team in this conference.
Yeah.
But if you're getting turnovers, doesn't matter. That's an extra possession you stole a different way. And I love that about this team. You had a player go down earlier this year. It's one of your tallest players, one of your better rebounders. She's out for the year. You got to find ways to make that up. And I love that this team's been able to do that. And then you look at Maya Scoff, a player that we also had on the poll a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. She's been really good as of late. She has 10-plus points in 5 of the 6 games on this win streak.
Yeah.
Didn't see that earlier in the year. She was not a scorer. She's a distributor. She's a role player. As of late, her shooting's been on fire, and that's a big reason why this team's finding success.
Oh, yeah. No, this team has been absolutely on fire, especially with, it's hard to describe how good this team has been and how much they have carried sort of Lindenwood sports through this winter and into the springtime. So I am just ultimately very excited to see where they go and see how far they go in this tournament, because when we had Alicia Jones on, she did say that she thinks they could win it all. And it looks like they're backing up exactly what she said.
They really should.
They really should. Like, Western Illinois is good. Don't get me wrong. Western Illinois is playing great ball as well. Lindenwood's playing better, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, Lindenwood's playing better.
Well, we got them coming up. Why don't you tell us about these upcoming games and your predictions?
So, first is Eastern Illinois. And Eastern Illinois is, they're a team.
They're certainly, and they wear blue.
They do. They wear blue. They're 4-25. So there's nothing going for this. They are Western Illinois, but on the women's side. So basically, Western Illinois was eliminated from March Madness 2 weeks ago for the men's side and all that. Yeah, women's is basically Eastern Illinois is the copycatting the men's team from Western. Like, it is not good.
Dude, it's been a down year for the Illinois teams.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, what they've been good at. Because soccer, neither team was all that good. I think both teams made the tournament in men's soccer. Women's soccer, no. Football, definitely no. Absolutely
Eastern, no. Western, no.
They were bad. Men's ball, not really doing anything there. And then women's basketball, Western Illinois.
Western Illinois is doing stuff in
Is there a sport I'm missing on that? I feel
As of right now, no.
Because neither team has a hockey program that's Division I that I know of, and I don't think they do. So maybe it's a student life sports school.
Yeah.
They're struggling right now. They're on the struggle bus.
They are very much struggling right now. So that one is here, Highland Arena.
Thank you.
At 5 p.m. on Thursday. So if you want to go ahead and go watch that, it is right down the road. Go watch that. That's against Eastern Illinois. They're going to show up. They're going to pummel Eastern. They're going to go home. And then Saturday, they are going to go to Macomb, Illinois, to go play Western Illinois. They're essentially going to have an exhibition match before the actual match. That is all that this is.
I hope. The way you speak about it, if they lose,
it's going to be catastrophic for me. It's going to be catastrophic for me if they lose. However, I'm predicting a very easy win for this Lindenwood program against Eastern Illinois. I don't think it's any competition. And I'm actually picking a win against Western Illinois, too. I think they'll be able to have that win against Eastern Illinois. You could tell this team doesn't get a lot in their head with the wins. They don't let the wins dictate how, we're dominant because of these wins. It's like, no, they're dominant because they know how to play ball. They know how to move up and down the court without letting the other team sort of, rattle them or take control of anything. Like, they know how to play basic basketball and have that carry them. So that's why they're dominant. And I think that is going to help lift them against Western Illinois. I think Lindenwood takes the 1 seed coming out of the weekend. I think they take the 1 seed coming out of the weekend. I think going into the playoffs, they're going to be great. And I think it's wins all the way around for Lindenwood women's basketball.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Lindenwood doesn't get to decide that because Western Illinois has another game against another Illinois team in SIUE. I believe, and this is my belief, should have done more research on this, but I believe if they lose to SIUE and then lose to Lindenwood, we get the 1 seed. But I believe the tiebreaker is overall record on the season, which they have a better overall record. We can't catch them.
They do.
So this could be for the conference. Very well be for the 1 seed going in. Get the bye. Ultimately, this sport is played in Evansville and not played for the 1 seed hosting. They'd be sick.
That'd be awesome.
They'd have the best broadcasts.
They would.
I'll tell you that much.
They'd have the greatest broadcast of all time.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Southern Illinois is the one that runs. Southern Indiana runs those broadcasts. And anyways, let's talk about basketball before I go down that rabbit hole. So, Eastern Illinois, they're a team that they can't score consistently. They struggle to shoot the basketball. They're pretty turnover prone compared to Lindenwood. Lindenwood's been feasting on turnovers the last few weeks. If they don't take care of the basketball against us, it's going to get ugly quick. Give me a win there. Western Illinois, they're a really good basketball team. I mean, look at them on the season. They have a player on their team. I don't know if you've heard of her. You probably should have.
Yeah.
Mia Castro. Insane basketball player. You look at her, like she's up in the national ranks this year as far as her stats go. She's averaging 24.6 points per game, first in the OVC, 9.3 rebounds, third in the OVC, and she's shooting 52.8% from the field. She's almost averaging a double-double. That you don't see that a lot in women's basketball. You don't see people putting up these individual stats unless you are someone that's going to go to the W, which I think she's probably going to end up either. She has a chance.
Oh, yeah.
She definitely has a chance. She's a great ball player. And my problem is Lindenwood this year could not stop her last time. She was right around her averages, 23 points, 9 rebounds, first conference game of the year for Lindenwood. And it's early in the season, right?
Yeah.
But you look at other games where the other games in the season where Lindenwood's played against a star, and I want to use UT Martin as the example. We've struggled. We've struggled to slow down the star.
Yeah.
The stars on these teams, for whatever reason, we can't take away the one person that does everything. We've tried. It's a problem for us. So this is going to need to be a coaching change at all costs. Stop her. Try to get her in foul trouble. Try to get her out of the game. Get her out of her rhythm. Do not let her destroy you down in the paint. Lindenwood lacks size. I'm scared that we're not going to be able to do that. And for that reason, I think Western Illinois is going to win this game. I hate saying that.
Ooh.
It comes down to whoever turns over the ball more, in my opinion. Western Illinois, in all 3 of their losses this year, so all 3, which is only 3 in conference, they lost the turnover battle. They are a very good team in that regard. I don't think Lindenwood can do it.
I want you to know that if you do that, right, I could possibly tie it.
Yeah, you are 7-3 right now in women's basketball. I am 8-2.
So, with those
I want you to win.
There's a possibility we could tie it going into the playoffs, and then it is all playoff prediction of whether or not we win or not.
Yeah. I think that, but then we might end up tying for the season. That's going to feel wrong. And also, I didn't add up our total records this week. I was slacking. I got all of our records fixed in the predictions. I didn't add them up. So, and yes, I see you eyeing it. The OBS is working. Our jank strategy is working so far. I'm just praying your laptop has enough capacity for this.
It has like 30 gigs. It's fine.
I don't know if that's not really like...
It'll last.
I think I got like 400 gigs on this. Well, I mean, mine looks like a space computer compared to yours. Mine's a little thick guy.
Little thick guy.
Okay, so we got those figured out. So you're going WW, I'm going WL.
Oh, yeah? And now, speaking of, going WL or LW, however...
Let me get the segue out.
Yeah, let me get the segue out. Men's ice hockey, and I'm going to say this as nice as humanly possible because I know the past few weeks I've been a little pessimistic on them. However, I feel like I'm valid in my being pessimist because, my God, they are 14-14 to end the regular season. They even tied their exhibition match at the end. Like, lost and then win. They could not win 2 in a row to have a winning record on the season. It is literally just breaking even, which, while not what some people may have wanted, is still one of their best records for the program.
By far the best record they've had at the Division I level. So congratulations to them on that. That is nothing to shake a stick at, especially with a first-year head coach.
Sure. Yep.
Positives.
Positives.
We stay positive on this show the best we can.
As we're saying that, though, I really don't know if I'm excited for the playoffs because unless it's a series of 3, we're not winning.
But we're in the playoffs.
We're in the playoffs, which is great. We are in the playoffs.
All right, let me break it down here.
Please.
I know we're trying to be positive, but realistically, this is the lowest I've been on this team all season long. They had that really tough stretch of games where they were playing good hockey, they weren't getting rewarded for it, they were playing tough teams, and then you look at the end of the year and you're like, okay, you got Stonehill, Fairbanks, Stonehill, Anchorage. That's a stretch of games where, like, in my mind, I thought, man, we could win out. Like, we're going to drop 1. We might drop 2. But we're going to have a winning record to finish the regular season. It was within our grasp. One of the easiest strengths of schedule that you could have possibly had remaining on your schedule of the year. I mean, look at the pairwise rankings right now. You played the 20th worst team, the 4th worst team, and the worst team. And you played the 4th worst team twice. And yes, you won 3 of 4, which is what you're supposed to do. But I wanted 4-0 because we're greedy.
Yeah.
We're gluttonous for wins on this show. But okay, we're going into this next series, man. I mean, because you look at the last one, they kind of outplayed their opponent. I really feel like they did. But their defense and goaltending continues to let them down. It's just not consistent. It's just too easy for the other team sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think they have the talent to remedy it, but it's this late in the season. There isn't a lot of time to do that. Now, we don't know what the rankings are going to look like going into the playoffs here.
Not yet.
But they are going to be playing against some teams that I really feel like they should be able to handle. I believe it's, and I'm going to try to name them off of memory, okay? And I feel like I'm going to miss one. I should just look it up. But I know Long Island's going to be there. Believe Alaska Fairbanks is going to be there. I know Stonehill's going to be there. And I think I'm blanking on the last one. But all of these teams are ranked lower than Lindenwood in the pairwise. So I think this is a great opportunity for Lindenwood to win a tournament, even if it is a participation tournament.
Yeah.
It doesn't amount to too much. To be the best independent team in the area, that'd be something. A great way to finish off a season where you found success in the regular season for the first time ever.
Yeah. And you know, that'll be March 5th through the 7th. It's a Thursday going into the Saturday. And it's in the middle of spring break. No, 9th to the 13th.
I never remember spring break. Also, what is up with your camera? Hang on. You are my sunshine right now because you are bright. You're glowing, man. You change your skincare up?
Apparently.
You're glowing. All right, now, and then you're back there. And it looks... These darn cameras. Logitech, I love that they pack these full of, like, auto white balancing, auto focusing. But can you just let me set the white balance and the stuff? I work with broadcast. I can figure it out. I'm a smart fella.
I looked ethereal for a minute.
You look ethereal and then you look dark. Like you were yin and yang going on over there. All right.
Okay.
What's going on in the women's hockey sphere?
So as far as women's hockey, they are 14-19-2, which is actually one of their best records for the program at the D1 level. So both
the best.
So both men's and women's hockey ended in the best way that they possibly could, honestly. They both ended on a high note, which is awesome. Also saying that, they got their first playoff win since 2017.
Let's go.
Where the last playoff win was actually at the lower level. This is their first playoff win in D1 and their first playoff win since 2017. So this team has definitely got something a little bit more special, considering that best record at D1 level, first playoff win at D1 level, you're starting to see the writing on the wall.
And they play in an actual conference as well, which it means a bit more to beat a conference foe than some independent team that has no relation to you.
Exactly. And then, but to end it, they played Robert Morris back to back to back to end their season. And it was Robert Morris. They won both those. The first one went into overtime, but they still won it in overtime.
And remember, I predicted it was going to go to overtime.
You did. Actually.
I just predicted a loss.
You did predict a loss. You said it was
I
going
got
to
it
go
to
to OT
overtime.
and then it was lost. So, hey, you semi-right. Half a point.
I'll take it.
Half a point. I should give you a tie in the records. It doesn't count for a full win, but it counts as a tie because you predicted overtime.
But you were also saying last week, if it doesn't go to overtime and they still lose, should it count? So I'll just take my loss on this one. I'll just say I went 1-1 this week.
Fair enough. But they won all three, or they won those two, and then they played Robert Morris again to start the playoffs, and then beat Robert Morris a third time. So, I feel bad for Robert Morris because it's like slap, take a little bit of a break. Oh, hey, we're in the playoffs. Slap. and just knocked them out of complete playoff contention. So
Hey, they controlled their destiny, man. All they had to do was make sure we didn't get the 3 seed.
That's true.
They could have won both those games. They could have said, we don't want to play Lindenwood. We're going to go out here and win those hockey games. Instead, they decided to face the Lion 3 times, and the Lion does not concern themselves with the Robert Morris University. I love this. I mean, when we first started covering this team, it was a question of, do we cover women's hockey at the time the same way we do everyone else? They were struggling. It was like, man, we got to try to find positives this week. The team was 7-16-2 when we picked them up.
yeah.
They finished the season 7-3. They stole 3rd place. They ripped RMU's heart out. They ended their season. Single season win record at the Division I level for this team, and their first playoff win since 2017. Hats off to you guys. I mean, this women's team earned it.
Oh, yeah.
It hurts my soul to see that the attendance for the playoff game, at least the official one by Lindenwood, was less than 150.
Ooh.
That hurts my soul. These ladies deserved it. They put the work in. An unbelievable finish to the season. So huge shout out to the coaching staff and everyone, Molly Henderson that came on the show. And they got a big series coming up against Mercyhurst. So I guess we should dive into that.
Yeah, I mean, we can dive straight into that Mercyhurst. So I know you kind of talked about how they have their number. I am actually going to flip-flop a little bit. I went like this, not like this. You get it right now. Stop it. I'm actually going to predict for all 3, Game 1 loss, Game 2 win. I think we go to Game 3. I think we go to this 3rd game, decimation, elimination. I think that Mercyhurst is going to have our number in that 3rd game, and they're gonna send Lindenwood off with a season that is nothing to be scoffed at, but nonetheless, they're going to send Lindenwood back home with, things to look at for next season.
And we're going to base this off of serious predictions here. Because...
And I want to point something out real quick. You're saying... Well, actually, I'll let you say it, and then I want to throw a note out real quick.
Okay. Do you not like the format in which I wrote this out?
No, it's fine. But I just want to... I'm gonna let you know something.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this. I agree with you wholeheartedly on your prediction. Yeah. I think in that exact order, probably. Maybe we win Game 1 because we have this momentum coming in, but so does Mercyhurst. They've owned us historically. I want to say 3 games. In my brain tells me it's 2. Mercyhurst is a good team, but in my heart, I'm kind of getting attached to this team. They've proven me wrong in the past. We're going 3 games. I just don't think we have enough unless we get an amazing goalie performance, which, by the way, not sure if you noticed this, Madison Botel started the playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Not Lexington.
No.
I was shocked by that. Because, Lexington, Lexington Secreto, she's been your goalie all year.
Yeah.
She has been your person. The one you've leaned on. I mean, Madison Botel at the beginning of the year, her numbers were not good. She was not getting playing time. They weren't even splitting series anymore. And Botel gets the playoff start, and she looked great.
I was about to say, she actually got tabbed the AHA Goaltender of the Week coming off of the performance against Robert Morris. So, I mean...
I probably should have thrown her on there. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I should have thrown her on the Players of the Week voting. Yeah. Although, right now, I think it's tight. Did you vote on it this week?
I actually did not vote on it.
Can you vote on it live?
I will. So
when we get there, can you do that?
We'll wait till we get to the 3 stars of the week. I will present my vote.
Because I believe there's a tie.
Show it to the camera.
You have to break a tie, I believe.
Do I?
I think for first star of the week or team of the week, there's a big tie going on, and you're going to have to break it.
Oh, boy.
Potentially. I don't know if
I don't want you to tell me what the ties are, because obviously you can see them. I can't see the analytics. I might be a collaborator, but I can't see the analytics. It's the weirdest thing
You have to vote on it to see it.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
It's so odd. So... While I could do a throwaway vote and vote for other or whatever, I'm going to put an actual vote. I'm going to look at all of them. I'm going to say what my vote is, and I don't want you to tell me what the ties are because I want it to be a genuine surprise if I am the tiebreaker.
Well, then we're going to have to figure out a way to break a tie if it's still tied. Anyways, we'll get there when we get there. Women's hockey!
Women's hockey!
You think we're in agreement, 3 games, Botel, Player of the Week. Don't let goalies get hot. Goalies get hot all the time, and they go on tears.
Are you saying they lose all 3, or are you
they lose in 3? which means they
Okay.
would lose the third game.
Okay.
So we're going to get there. We're going to win one of these games.
Okay.
And here, just to mix it up on you, I say we win game 1, lose game 2 and 3.
Okay.
Just so
gotcha.
we can have some differences in there.
Okay. I thought you were saying that we were playing all 3 and we lose all 3.
That
That's
doesn't-
where I was
Oh,
misunderstanding.
you were going to try to dunk on me.
I was.
No,
I
it's
totally
a best
was
of
gonna
3.
say-
That's fair. I dunk on you all the time. Yeah, they're just a better
I'm glad
team.
Somebody notices my pain.
They're better in every category. They're a more talented team. They have, they're a more well-established program.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of, if you're in a dogfight with Penn State for the top of the division, or top of the conference, sorry, I'm in hockey brain, you're a pretty good hockey team. So I think that Mercyhurst is going to win this series.
Yeah.
Still a great season. I wish these were at home. I wish they split somehow and they could go back and forth, but
Yeah, because they're
Super
all
lame.
going to be in Erie, Pennsylvania, and they are all going to be on Flow Sports. You know, the amazing Flow Sports. What is it? StreamNet, the site where people.
Stream Ace, that won't be on there.
Yeah. The one where people watched all their legitimate NFL and NBA games without.
Don't put
Any
games
problems?
on Peacock. Don't put games on Prime. If you don't want me to pirate it, don't put it on a subscription service.
Maybe let's not promote that real quick. But they're all going to be on Flow Hockey. February 27th, Friday, is going to be the first game. February 28th, Saturday, is going to be the second game. And if it comes down to the third game, which we're both predicting it will be March 1st. So that is this weekend. And the game times are going to be 2 p.m. for Friday, 12 p.m. for Saturday, and 12 p.m. for Sunday if needed. So we will see how that goes. Now, talking about sort of bouncing around the schedule, bouncing around to places.
About bouncing around ball.
Yeah, volleyball.
Terrible.
It was awful. That was such a bad segue. Paul Blart type segue. So they're 10-2 now after our break last week, with the only loss actually coming from Ball State, which I think both of us had. I might have predicted a win against Ball State. That one I might have had. But, you know, that's not a bad loss because now they're 10-2 and they're kind of taking over. You know, Zach Solomon, he's showing up, showing out. He's not one of the stars of the week, unfortunately.
Well, he's already won it before. He's been on the voting all year long.
Oh, yeah. He's been on the voting all year. Actually, Luke Kraft really showed up. 21 kills in reverse sweep over number 12 McKendree, though. So
That was a really weird game to watch because, you know, you lose to Ball State, and the way they lost was really unfortunate. They won the first set. It looked like, wow, Lindenwood, like this is another Loyola. I mean, we could win this one, like legitimately. It felt good. The next 3 sets were bad, like really bad volleyball. Like they couldn't receive a serve. They barely could get the ball over the net. Everything was getting blocked in their face. That's why I picked us to lose against Ball State, because they are just like Lindenwood in the way they play, but they're just better.
yeah.
And they're a more established team and whatever, and like they're at home too. That's a big thing in the MIVA, man. Home teams just do really well in this conference compared to some of these other conferences. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I am sure about Lindenwood was kind of getting their butts kicked versus McKendree. Set 1 and 2, the hitting percentage was low. Everything was getting blocked. They couldn't solve the block. They couldn't dig a ball to save their lives. The serve receive was not good. So many service errors. As a matter of fact, the most service errors of the season. Also, I believe the only match to go to 5 sets. So that's going to happen. Numbers are going to be inflated. But 31, I believe, in this game. Also, they allowed the most aces against versus any team this season. McKendree not a team that's particularly well known for that, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, had some issues. Guess what? Good teams adjust. Good teams don't give up. Lindenwood didn't give up. Luke Kraft, he really did bring the energy. You could feel it in the building. You could see it on his face. You could see his celebrations. This was a man on a mission. 21 kills. That is the most of his Lindenwood D1 career. And I shouldn't say D1 is the top level of volleyball, the national competitive level, because it's not divisions.
Yeah.
But he was playing at Maryville last year, and he comes here, and you know there's some question marks on what is he going to bring to the team. He's going to bring you a reverse sweep over a ranked opponent. So super electric, super fun match. And it was really cool to see Lindenwood get the win. And because they went 5 sets, I worked longer and I got paid more. So thank you, Lindenwood Volleyball.
So I will say this. At home, undefeated so far. They're 8-0 at home. They're 2-2 away. As long as we have those games at home, it's looking like
We also
good.
played number 2 and number 5 on the road. So
yeah, so it's kind of hard to.
Those aren't games you're supposed to win. You know?
No. However, coming up, the next couple games are both against Fort Valley State University. And they're both going to be in Fort Valley, Georgia, so unfortunately you're not going to be able to go to them unless you want to drive to Georgia. Take a fun trip over the weekend. But it's not spring break yet. I am, however... Oh, no. I got guard that weekend. Unfortunate.
Super lame.
I was going to go to Ohio. I was going to go to Ohio State, watch the men's volleyball. That's on March 5th. We aren't concerning ourselves with that one just yet. But Fort Valley State University, that is Friday and Saturday in Fort Valley, Georgia. It is going to be 5 p.m. on Friday and 5 p.m. on Saturday if you want to go ahead and watch those. Now... I was a little late on getting my predictions in. However, I think it's a win-out weekend. I think Lindenwood continues that pace. I see no reason why they sort of slowed down or why, like, this team that, not to sound snobby, is unranked is going to...
these poor people over here, they're not ranked.
Poor people. We have one sport that like balls out and gets ranked. We can't get cocky, but
the idea is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. So I think this is a clean 2-0 weekend. I think we improved to 4-2 on the road. Ultimately, I think we're going to go 12-2 after this, going into Ohio State next week. I'm really excited to break that one down on next week's episode.
I'm sure you are. You have friends.
You
have connections.
I am going to absolutely... This is one of the few times where my college actually goes against the college of the town that they live in, because they live in Columbus, and I am going to be like, haha, men's volleyball, and they probably won't
What rank are they right now? Does it show on the schedule?
It does not show on the schedule. It actually shows that they are currently unranked, but I think that's everyone is unranked as well.
Is it not showing like on Loyola?
No, it's not showing anybody's ranks, so...
We'll get there when we get there. We haven't
will get
researched
there when we
that
get
far
there.
ahead yet, but we'll get there next week. All right, let me get my predictions in. You think it's 2 wins?
Predictions.
This team is a pretty new program. They've only existed for a little bit. Lindenwood has never played them before. And fun fact, they are the first HBCU team to play at the national level for men's volleyball. So props to them for moving up. Unfortunately, you're facing a buzzsaw this week in Lindenwood. Because this team is one that, they kind of struggled against Quincy. We've played Quincy this year. We made very short work of Quincy. They were in 2 dogfights with Quincy this year. They split with them. And you look at some of the things that they do as a team, I mean, they are going to make their share of errors across the board. They're not the most efficient team. Something I think Lindenwood should work on this week. You get 2 games against a team you know you should beat. They make a lot of blocking errors. Let's work on tooling the block a bit, trying to get more free points off of that and trying to solve the block, because that's been something this team has struggled against so far this year. But I'm not the coach, and they are a very well-coached team. They watch a lot of film. I'm sure they have everything and all their ducks in a row on what they want to work on.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimately, though, they need 2 Ws. I think they get it.
Oh, yeah. Now, we're going to go into one of the new sports, and that is baseball. And as you might have seen on our Instagrams, if not, at James Zugmeyer, at JetKim4, go ahead and follow us because there's some fun content being put out there as well. In case, the Lions Den on the road. We interviewed a few players, and it was actually a lot of fun. We got to talk to some of them while they were out in Arkansas and got to sort of break it down. And by we, I mean James. James got to talk to some of them because he had the opportunity to go out there, watch them. I know you told me Sunday was a little bit of a struggle because of the, 2-inning game?
Not even. 3 pitches. All right, if you're not familiar with what happened, all right, so we know it's going to rain on Saturday.
Before I break down the season, please tell us what happened that Sunday.
Right, because this was the first week of the season. So Lindenwood wins game 1. We're feeling good about ourselves, and then game 2 comes around, just not a lot of run support there, whatever. It's a good baseball game. The third game, we end up winning another low-scoring one, and then the fourth game, Lindenwood is in prime position to win. We are holding on to a 1-run lead. We're getting the pitching performance of a lifetime out of our guys, and we know the rain's coming. It starts to rain in the 7th, just like a little bit of a drizzle. You know, it's coming down, it's misting, it's spitting at us.
Enough to still keep playing.
Well, okay, so at this point, if you are the landscapers, because they have a dirt field, this is when you take the quick dry out and start putting it on the field. Okay, let's get it out there. No. We have to go to the 8th inning. It's already starting to pour down. The top of the 9th inning, it is just a monsoon at this point. There's no grip. Everyone's sliding around. Everyone's covered in mud. It is a miserable atmosphere for the fans and for the players. The pitcher can't feel the ball. The hitter can't see the ball. He can't step into his swing. At this point, the game needs to be called. But no, we get to the top of the 9th and we keep wasting time. Like, we have so much time, dude. We have time to get this game in. But instead, in between, they keep throwing more quick dry stuff out. The quick dry is just causing mud. It's causing more mud. So we go 9th inning, we get 1 out, and then we walk, the bases get loaded. That's when they call the game. Bases loaded, 1 out on a dirt field. They pull the tarp out. We can't play there. We have to drive to Little Rock an hour out of our way the next day to throw 3 pitches. Strike 1, strike 2, timeout. Everyone gets together, and on the 3rd pitch, a bloop into right. They walk us off on the most BS, bogus game. It just should not have been finished. It should have been called. There was no reason to play it. The team had to get warmed up. There's the risk of injury to play actually 3 minutes of baseball. The person I was with timed it. We were there for 3 minutes whenever they said play ball. Anyways, this weekend, you had St. Thomas coming to town.
Yeah.
It was a fun series. They win. They had another game canceled, unfortunately, because of weather.
Yeah.
I want to break down the team, if you allow me to do such.
Yeah, all my thing was we're 4-3. Obviously James has been able to watch them a little bit more in depth. I kind of want to hear what you think of this team so far, because you've been at the games, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been the home games this week. I couldn't really make it to, but I was following along, like live stats, box score, doing what I could. And I couldn't work the Saturday broadcast for a reason. I don't remember what it was, but I couldn't be there. Yeah. But like this team so far, they're struggling to find offense, which last year, this was a team that averaged like 7-8 runs per game. This was a team that could hit, and they couldn't find pitching. So far this year, they only have 3 starters with a 250 or above batting average and a 750 and above OPS. They have a few guys on the bench with less at-bats that have eclipsed these marks, but these are not your everyday guys yet. And then you look at a player last year that contributed a lot. His glove was really good. A very highly touted prospect. A very nice mom, by the way. Mm-hmm. She was very nice to me on the road trip, because I actually rode up with her. But nice. Charlie Ison McCall, great player, but to start the season so far, he has not looked comfortable, hasn't been able to hit, and he's a guy that they needed to step up as a sophomore. To make up for it, though, they bring in Will Zera out of the transfer portal. Some guy were like, really? I mean, we have Brody Short, and we have another catcher on the roster whose name is escaping me right now. Of course it's escaping me. Great hitter, Radosevich. There you go. He's a great hitter. Is this guy going to fit in? Yeah, he's going to fit in. Already has 2 home runs on the season. He's hitting great. He's been amazing. And I really think he should be the everyday catcher. I think Radosevich needs to move to first or somewhere else, and he needs to be the catcher because his arm looks great. But that's the story of the team right now, because right now they're getting great pitching. They've had 3 starters with under a 2 ERA. That is Bennis, Niemeyer, and Josh Duell. Niemeyer, who was a freshman, by the way, he looks great. Did not expect a lot. When he started in Arkansas, I'm like, uh-oh. True freshman on the road? I don't know, man. Oh, he was great. He's looked really solid for this team so far. And, the bullpen, that's another thing right now. I'm just trying to keep everyone up to date. We're going to all aspects of this team.
Yeah.
Only 2 guys I really trust out of the bullpen right now. You got Rockers and you got Aaron Youngers. 2 guys that are reliable, that can give you a bit of length. The thing I love about Rockers is he has that weird sidearm delivery, but he's not throwing max effort, so he can give you a few innings if you need it. He's also a closer. But our secondary pitcher, Ethan Smith, off to a rough start so far this year. Got to find depth. You know who the stars are on this team. You know who the guys are they're going to hit. You know who's going to pitch. But everyone has to step up. And hopefully by the end of non-con, we have a good idea of what the diamond looks like, who's going to be where, and what this rotation is going to look like.
Yeah. Well, coming out of that, we have the games that are coming up this weekend. And the game that is coming up tomorrow. Because a random University of Illinois game, the Fighting Illini, got added in the middle of the week.
Yeah, you gotta have your weird non-cons in the middle of the week.
Yeah, well, this is like major school too. So they're actually in Champaign, Illinois for that game. That is tomorrow at 3 p.m. I don't think that's getting streamed anywhere. I think that is just a game that is happening in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois. If you want to take a drive to
if anything, it'd be on
Champaign.
It might be on the Big Ten network. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, some other games are there, but it might not be streamed at all.
No,
I think that's more likely.
It's a last-minute game, so I think it's just kind of a...
Yeah.
They're going to play it and see how it goes.
And I wonder who's going to pitch that one. That is a really... Like, you have the series on the weekend. Do you just bullpen game that? Do you get the other guys out there? Or do you say, we want to make a statement. We want to beat Illinois. Hey, Illinois, eat Josh Newell. Future MLB draft pick, probably. Go up against him. I don't know what the coach, because Finnegan, great coach. And I look forward to really seeing what he does with this one.
Yeah.
Because this is a really weird opportunity for them in a midweek game.
So I don't think either one of us really had this in our predictions. I think both of us kind of didn't expect that one to get added. I don't know. I'll let you predict win or loss first because
I don't think we need to predict these. I didn't put it on the notes because it's non-con and we have no idea who's going to be pitching. There's really no way to even predict this. If we had to, I'm going to say it's a loss. The bats aren't there yet. You're facing Big Ten pitching. Don't think we're going to win that one. But let's look at the weekend series and then we can move on to softball.
So the weekend series is against Northern Illinois. But they're not going to stay in Illinois. No, they are coming right back after going to Champaign on Wednesday. And they are going to play in St. Charles at the Lou Brock Sports Complex. Can I say it that way?
Yeah.
Or does that... Okay.
We're going to the Brock.
Okay.
Lou Brock.
What?
You're playing at Lou Brock.
Okay.
You are correct. Everyone calls it the Lou Brock Sports Complex, but we can probably shorten it at some point. Get some slang going.
Sure.
And let's just move on.
Sure.
Whatever. You're no fun.
No. So Friday, the game is at 1 p.m. So, I mean, if you want to skip class, I'm not recommending. If you want to skip class, go ahead and watch the game. Is that why people weren't in class on Friday? They were at the baseball game?
No. Unfortunately, the baseball team does not have quite the clout that they should yet.
Not yet.
So it's a lot of parents at the games right now. But you should go.
It's coming soon.
I mean, you're going to have Bash at the Brock. Hopefully later this year, we're going to have a bunch of free giveaway stuff. And
nice.
That'll be fun. I mean, we might be playing against Mizzou in that one. So
ooh,
it's going to be a toughie.
That'd be fun.
But it's like the worst SEC team. They're bad.
Are they?
For an SEC. Yeah, program-wise, program history, they're not good. But they are one of the only national championships that Mizzou has at the Division I level. It's 1950 they won the national championship, 1952.
It's kind of sad when you put it into perspective like that. Anyway.
The SEC is tough, man.
It really is. So, Saturday, it is at 12 p.m. Another Saturday game at 3:30 p.m., so stick around after. They'll be playing a doubleheader. And then Sunday, the game is at 1 p.m. All of that is obviously at the Brock Sports Complex. I'm with the cool kids. So if you want to go ahead and watch those games, you can. So I think now we can safely move into women's softball.
And I'm taking it.
Okay,
I'm taking it.
Take it.
This was a tough week. The team is currently sitting at my favorite number of all time.
Oh, my God.
I'm not even going to say it. Just watch the YouTube stream. You'll know what the record is. They played some tough teams, teams that are in much higher divisions, conferences. And unfortunately, right now, the Bats just couldn't get it going. They couldn't score runs. Outside of Avery Wapp, you don't know who's really going to pitch each day. And the thing about Avery Wapp this season is, yeah, she's your number one. She's striking a lot of people out, but run prevention hasn't exactly been the best for her so far.
Yeah.
She's given length. I mean, she had a game where she pitched all 6 innings. Of course, the 7th didn't happen because Lindenwood was down in that one. I mean, she's great, but the rest of the team really has to step up. And you have some good hitters on this team, like Tori Hatton, that is going to consistently give you hits, going to give you power, going to lead this team. But outside of that, in the non-con at least so far, the non-con that they've played,
Yeah.
I haven't been the most moved or impressed. Which, I mean, it takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, this team has to gel together and figure out what their identity is. And, you know, people, sometimes a lot of guys start the season cold and they warm up as we go. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah.
I think once the conference season rolls around, it's going to be a lot more competitive and there's going to be more strategy on who's pitching where and they can manage things. And that's how it was last year, too. Like, their non-con, not great. But once they got into conference play, they were a pretty competitive bunch.
I think a lot of these games we kind of had to take with some salt before we're getting into conference play. So I think it's safe to say we're not going to do any predictions until conference play comes around and we have a little bit more solid idea of what starting lineups are going to look like or who's playing what position definitively. And, you know, once the bats are warmed up. Exactly.
And then I'll steal lacrosse just to wrap things out. This is our last point we're going to cover. Lacrosse is winless so far on the season. The big thing for them right now is they keep losing like the ground ball and turnover battle.
Yeah.
Like they're winning draw controls, which is like a face-off in hockey. I know we're both trying to learn lacrosse here. But like they're winning possession a lot. Mm-hmm. They're getting that first possession and then they're turning the ball over and the other team's going the other way and they're just not able to force the turnovers that they need to. So like shots look close. Like offensively, they're scoring a lot, but it's just not enough right now. And I think once ASUN play rolls around, they'll probably be okay. But this is one of the rougher non-cons that they've played in a while. Like this is not a great start to the season. They need to turn things around and get headed in the right direction. So hopefully later in the season we can talk about ASUN playoffs and fun stuff like that.
I've got to say one of the funniest things I've seen from lacrosse, and it was one of the photos that was put onto their website or like onto the site as one of their pictures. They are in like their jerseys and shorts and all of that. There is just mounds of snow behind them.
Yeah.
So they are playing the most spring sport in like a blizzard with a cleared football field. And I'm like, that is going to be the most miserable experience when it is supposed to be a spring sport and you are playing in like the worst winter conditions that you could think of.
I just looked at our 3 stars of the week, which we're about to get into.
Ooh.
And man, we got some close ones here. Make sure to stick around for this as we move into our 3 stars of the week.
It's time for the 3 stars of the week.
All right, well, first of all, if you ever want to vote on the 3 stars of the week, you got to give us a follow on Instagram. Follow Jetkin4, follow James Zugmeyer. Both of those will be linked in our YouTube description, as well as the Tower. You can watch all of Lindenwood Student Radio, everything that goes over the airwaves on this station right here. As long as they're making social media posts for their shows, which not everyone is, you should be able to tune in and have an idea of when their shows are going to be. But we need you to vote because right now we got, some really good players from this week, and I'll read down while you go it.
Yeah. So, what? I'll go ahead and read them down, and then I'll make my vote.
Okay, I like that.
And then we'll break it down. So, these are in no specific order just yet, but what they're listed as: Seth Bennis. Seth Bennis. 2 starts. He posted 14
innings pitched.
I knew that. I know baseball. And yet, for some reason, I blanked on that. I feel ashamed.
It's stat season, man. You're going to have a lot of stats on these.
I feel ashamed. 14 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, and 0 runs. Pretty good contender for my vote.
He's cooking.
Luke Kraft, team leading 21 kills in reverse sweep over number 12 McKendry. Pretty good. Alicia Jones, she's always one of my favorites to vote for. Because, she's been on the show, and she supports the show.
OVC Newcomer of the Week.
For the 5th time?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Also, they chose the worst photo. If I were her, I'd be calling the commissioner of the OVC right now. That photo is bad. It's not her fault either,
They're doing her dirty. So, led the team in scoring this week, 1st on the team, and 5th in OVC scoring. I mean, when you have a stat like that and 5th OVC player, newcomer of the week, it's hard not to vote for. And then Yacinda Espinoza took 2nd in NCAA regional to qualify for nationals in the 138-pound class. Now, that's new. That's wrestling. Mm-hmm. That's a newcomer. That's always fun to vote for, too. But I've got to say, with just how impressive it is, and especially with the season starting, I think I'm going to go with Seth Bennis. 14 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, and 0 runs. Like, I'm sure it wasn't a no-hitter, but, like, you know, no-hitters are excruciatingly hard. So is 0 runs in essentially 2 full games. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, cast my vote, and then I will break down what the 3 stars of the week are, or I'll at least start it.
I can go 1 to 1 to 1. I can do like 3 2.
Oh,
you just saw the results, by the way.
I did. So let me go with number 3. We actually have a 2-way tie for number 3. All 4 people are represented.
I think we need to break the tie. I don't want to tie because I'm going to be so honest with you. Our 3rd star of the week, as far as the tie goes, is between Kraft and Alicia Jones.
It is.
And if I want to say this, Lindenwood men's volleyball does not win against McKendree if Luke Kraft doesn't do what he did. But the women's basketball team this week maybe could have squeaked by if Alicia Jones did a little less. But he had the game of his career.
I can agree with giving it to Luke Kraft.
And plus, Alicia Jones has already won several times and got on the list. This is his first appearance. I don't want to steal it from the man.
You know, 3rd star of the week, Luke Kraft of the men's volleyball. I'm okay. Yes. I'll give it to Luke Kraft. Look, that does not mean anything against Alicia Jones. She's phenomenal and, you know, amazing ball player. I can't wait to see what she does in the playoffs, especially with that.
This team would not be here without her right now. So no disrespect. But I got to give it to Luke Kraft.
She is amazing. Respect where respect is due for that guy. He played out of his mind and helped carry Lindenwood the men's volleyball to where it was. Take us into the second one.
Our 2nd star of the week and teammate of my sister has to go to Yacinda Espinosa because she is going to be representing your Lindenwood Lions at Nationals this year for women's wrestling.
That's awesome. There's no other way to put that other than that. That's awesome. I knew that your sister was a wrestler. I didn't know that she was a teammate of hers. That's cool.
Well, yeah, they're on the same team.
Oh, I didn't know.
Also, shout out to my sister if she's watching. She's currently recovering from a season-ending injury. Just had surgery the other day.
I'm sorry.
So I know my mom's on campus right now taking care of her. So yeah, blessings to her. Hopefully she's doing all right today.
Shout out Jim's sister.
Dude, that's wrestling for you. It's a tough sport, and that's why she deserves 2nd star of the week.
Out of all the sports, I know some people. I know how Izzy kind of said that people clowned on her for bowling. People clown on wrestlers
they
too,
really
but I've gotten into just some friendly skirmishes with some wrestlers. I have never been sat down so quick in my life after trying to be friendly wrestling with a wrestler. They don't do friendly. They go 100% or none.
Right. I have a drum roll, by the way.
Yeah. So, top star of the week.
Drum roll, and
it is indeed Seth Benes with 76% of the vote. I think the baseball guys got a hold of the poll.
Because they got scammed last week. Okay, respectfully to our last week's winner, I really did think that Will Geary was going to win.
Yeah.
And the baseball team and the softball team went to war. That was the most votes we ever had last week.
Wasn't it 50 or something?
Yes.
54.
It was an insane amount of votes. So this week they were not letting their boy be denied. Congratulations to Seth Benes, who, by the way, we did interview when we were on the road last week.
Yeah.
So big shout out to him. That is our 3 stars of the week. But our team of the week, you got to get a vote in on.
I do. So there's a little bit less responses on this one. However, I'll go ahead and break down the teams and then I'll explain my vote and then we'll do that. So, women's hockey, first AHA playoff in 9 years, and they'll play best of 3 versus Mercyhurst. Again, best record in the D1 era. First playoff win since 2017. It is really hard not to vote for this team. Women's basketball, 6-game win streak, and 1 game back of Western Illinois for the conference lead. Really powerful team. Really good team.
They're rolling.
Men's volleyball won their 4th-ranked game of the season over number 12 McKendree. This is a ranked team. They have now made a habit of beating other ranked teams. Like, Lindenwood will not be denied on the men's volleyball scene. All 3 of these teams, man, they are good. And then baseball won their series over St. Thomas 2-1. That sounds a little lackluster when you put it like that, but this is a team that's just starting off, has a few new power players, trying to get the rotation settled. These guys are playing good, and especially after kind of getting the, short end of the stick in that Arkansas series with that Sunday 3-minute game, coming back and winning a series like that is really impressive. However...
And I will say as well, by the way, before you get into that,
yeah,
I had to debate here. I wanted to put rugby on here. I did. The only reason why baseball's here and rugby's not on there, so rugby team, don't stuff me in a locker for this. Respectfully, I thought you guys were going to win by more. I said it. I thought you guys were going to win by more this week, and I was like, dude, do I put baseball in there?
That's almost as bad as we're ranked comment earlier.
I look at the score and I'm like, really?
I thought you would have won by more.
When you're number 3 in the country, and you are a national championship contender this season, I think they won by 10. So, full respect to the team. I mean, they won. You took care of business. They won that game. Then they played Tennessee with the second team, beat them really badly. I think that was like a 50-0, 56.
Should have won by more, though.
That's the only reason why they're not on here. And I know later, whenever they play Penn State, when they play their games at home, they're going to be on this list, and all you guys can vote for your rugby team. But
that is so petty.
Justin, you got to get your vote in.
All right, so I think I'm going to vote for the women's hockey team. It might be a losing record. It's a good record. They win their playoff game. They're showing that they are one of these best women's teams. And early in the season, I had that vote of confidence. 7-3 since we started covering them. I have faith, and I know I predicted them losing and coming home and not making it much further. I'm voting women's hockey, and it looks like I did indeed break the tie. But I'll go with the 3rd team of the week. Or no, it's just team of the week.
It's just team of the week.
It's just team of the week, and I broke the tie, people. Unintentionally broke the tie, and I'm really happy I did, because now your team of the week is indeed...
Drum roll.
The women's hockey team, that's right.
Yes.
I mean, it's deserved.
Snaps in the chat, snaps all around.
It's 100% deserved. I mean, the playoff wins... The playoff wins, the record that you had on the season, you can build off this. You could go into next season with your head held high, even if, you don't make it past Mercyhurst. You did something that a team hasn't done post-COVID. That's wild to think, because so much life has happened for pretty much everybody on this planet. Post-COVID, you are the first team in this college to do that.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to the women's hockey team. They definitely deserve it. They're an amazing team.
Now, before we wrap up, we got to have a quick conversation here.
Of course.
So, if you look at this poll here, I would personally argue that the women's basketball team or the men's volleyball team had a more impressive outing this week than the baseball team.
They did.
But the baseball team is now starting to follow me en masse, and that was the tie. It was between women's hockey and between baseball.
Look,
so if you are a baseball player listening to this,
we love the baseball guys.
We love you.
They're great. They're awesome dudes all the way around. Parents are great. The whole team is just one big family. And, shout out to Lucas Dalton and Josh Coloni, old friends of ours who, I worked with at Linden Lake, and they did stuff on the tower here, all that. And I did find your old show that you did with them on Instagram.
Oh,
yeah, I found that on Instagram.
You found The Rush?
I found The Rush.
The Rush was bad. That was not a good show.
It was great. I loved it. Anyway, but, just that whole group of guys, that whole crew, y'all are amazing. We love the support. We love having you guys around. That's perfect. However, we gotta be a little bit even on these votes.
We gotta be impartial. Like, you can't. If you would have swept, I've been like, okay, maybe. But no, we're not doing this. Not like you won a series. That's great. That's what we expect. We are gluttons. We want wins.
Who is this we?
Feed us more wins, and then you can start rigging the vote in your favor. But
You
guys,
speak in French? Who is this we?
we, baby. All right. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in to the Lions Den. We'll be right back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. And if you missed anything from today's show, we will have it up on YouTube, hopefully by the end of this evening. And then maybe we'll post some clips over the course of the week. But from me, from Justin, from the women's bowling team that helped join us here today and make this show possible, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you for listening to the Lions Den. We're on air every Tuesday at 6 p.m. right here on the Tower, and all recordings are on the Roar Network YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your evening, and go Lions!